You wake up feeling a bit under the weather, shrugging it off as exhaustion from late night adventures with the wife. You start your daily routine of corporate slavery. Nausea kicks in. This time, it's a bit more concerning. Maybe it's the cursed breakfast you had on your way. Everything comes out in the restroom. It hurts, but seriously, it couldn't be worse than food poisoning, right? Wrong. In moments, you collapse on the ground, curling into your most primal position. Everything blacks out, and before you even realize what's happened, it's game over. Congratulations! You just lost your life to a heart attack. Here's how to detect it before it's too late. Number 1. Sleeping problems. You're deep in dreamland doing things you probably would get capital punishment for when suddenly you jolt yourself back to reality, gasping for air like you just ran a sprint. Bad news, your heart's not pulling its weight. When it slacks off, fluid builds up in your lungs while you're lying down, which is why you wake up feeling like you just inhaled a swimming pool. Most people blame it on late night junk food or aging, but that's an easy excuse. Good news, you still have time, and unless you don't value your life and live it edging throughout the time you're given, see a doctor and pray it's just another case of caffeine overdose. Number 2, unusual fatigue. It's the type where climbing a single story feels like a workout, or when carrying groceries in a single trip becomes impossible. Life is hard and you get exhausted, but this is not normal. And the reason's pretty simple. Your body's running low on oxygen because your heart can't pump the blood properly. It's easy to ignore it just as you do with your middle child. However, these early symptoms can be a lifesaver if treated early on. So, while it's tempting to chalk it up to stress or quote-unquote bad sleep, don't. Unusual fatigue is one of those signs that sneaks in quietly long before a heart attack shows up loud. Especially for women who experience it more often than men, not because they're weak or anything, it's just a different way for their bodies to express code red. The bottom line, if you suddenly feel like everyday life turned into an Olympic sport for no good reason, don't just power through it. Fatigue that heavy isn't laziness, it's a warning. Listen to it, get it checked, and you might just catch your heart before it decides to quit the game early. Number 3, heartburn. It's midnight, you're elbow deep in leftover pizza preparing to hit the sack after binging Breaking Bad. Unfortunately for you, as soon as you lie down, you're stuck with a crazy heartburn. And justifiably so. You think it's quite normal after munching down a feast just before, so you take some antacids like you've done 100 times before. Except this time, it's not your stomach throwing a tantrum. It's your heart begging you to have it checked out. The thing with a heartburn of this kind is that it makes your neuron wiring messy since the nerves in your chest and stomach overlap. So it bamboozles the brain into thinking that it could be acid reflux. Plenty of people have walked in to get it checked by doctors swearing that they only need some medication, only to find out they're just a few hours away from a heart attack. Up until now, I've only warned you about the early signs of a heart attack, which can take days or even weeks to manifest into a living nightmare. Let's move on to a bit more immediate signs which, if taken lightly, can do you in a few hours. Number 4, body pain. Heart attacks aren't polite enough to always hit you with obvious chest pain. Sometimes they play dress up, showing up in spots you'd never suspect. It can creep between your shoulder blades or settle low in your back, the kind of ache you'd usually blame on bad posture or hauling groceries wrong. Except this one doesn't quit when you stretch it out. It keeps lingering like a good-for-nothing parasite, making the pain sharper and heavier every passing second. Other times, the pain takes a detour into your jaw or teeth. You book a dentist, swear it's a cavity only to find out your mouth is fine. The problem's not your molars. It's your heart outsourcing the pain signals just to confuse you. And then there's the classic arm pain, often in the left one. It's heavy, dull, maybe even burning like someone strapped invisible weights to your arm. When your limbs feel like that and you didn't just hit the gym, your heart's the one calling the shots. Number 5, shortness of breath. You're sitting still, doing absolutely nothing, and suddenly your chest feels like you just finished a sprint. The lungs are fine, the air is fine, what's failing is the pump. When your heart can't push oxygen around, even scrolling on the couch feels like cardio. It's sneaky because people brush it off as being out of shape or maybe blame it on dust, allergies. But if your lungs are pulling their weight and you're still gasping, you're in for a ride to the hospital. When your heart slacks off, oxygen delivery slows, and that's your body's way of warning you before things shut down completely. Number 6. Dizziness. Everything feels okay until it's not. Your room tilts like you're on a roller coaster and things go black for a second. Sure, dehydration or standing up too fast can cause it, but when it keeps happening out of nowhere, that's your cue to start worrying. Dizziness isn't about your eyes or your head. It's about the blood flow. In fact, most cases of heart attacks relate to blood flow. Circulation drops and your brain's the first one to complain. That floating, off-balance feeling is pleasing, but keep ignoring it and the next tilt could be permanent. This is where it gets intense. Some signs only give you minutes to act, and at worst, they mean the heart attack's already in progress. Brushing them off may not be the best way to kick the bucket. Number 7. Nausea. Sometimes a heart attack doesn't hit you with pain at all. It just makes your stomach stage a rebellion. Out of nowhere, you've doubled over, sweating and throwing up like you signed up for a food challenge you weren't ready for. Your body basically turned into a malfunctioning blender, churning and twisting everything out with zero warning. And the worst part, no amount of ginger tea, antacids, or bathroom breaks is going to fix it because the problem isn't in your gut at all. It's not glamorous, it's not subtle, and it's definitely not the result of overeating. If your stomach's acting like it wants you dead, odds are your heart's already in on the plan. And trust me, that's not the way you want to plan a meetup with your college buddies. Number 8. Sense of doom. One of the weirdest giveaways of an upcoming heart attack is a sudden wave of dread. Like you know something bad's about to happen, but you can't say what. It's your body's way of yanking the fire alarm when words won't cut it. You don't need to be psychic, you just need a heart that isn't plotting its resignation letter. This isn't the kind of anxiety you get before a job interview or when your crush leaves you on red. It's primal. Your brain is screaming that something's off while your body gears up for chaos. If that sense of doom shows up out of nowhere, don't wait for confirmation because the bad thing you're worried about might already be happening inside your chest. Number 9. Cold sweats. You're not nervous about your date, and no, it's not heat. This is your body going full panic mode because your heart's clocking out on the job. 1 second you're chilling, the next you're soaked like you ran through a car wash fully clothed. That's not anxiety, it's your nervous system screaming that circulation's tanking. No amount of deodorant is gonna cover the fact that your heart is staging a walkout. Be it an incoming heart attack or not, cold sweating is no joke, so get that checked no matter what. Oh, and there's chest pain too, but that's pretty obvious, right? You'd have to be a bit denser than a black hole to ignore it. So be a bit lighter, subscribe if you want more videos like this, and I'll see you next time.